And now 7 o'clock. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Welcome. We're calling the meeting to order for the Fair Oaks Community Center special meeting. Roll call, please.
Vice Chair Aponte.
Here.
Councilmember Esser. Councilmember Whitney. Councilmember Daly. Councilmember Parisi.
Present.
Councilmember Orozco. Councilmember Salmon. And Chair Prado.
Present.
Thank you.
Before we move on, I want to acknowledge Supervisor Lisa Gutierrez here. She will be helping me facilitate tonight's meeting. Thank you, Supervisor, for being here. Just a quick announcement. We do have interpreters joining us this evening for those who need interpreting services. If you would like to listen to this meeting in Spanish, please use a headset provided at the back table by Ruby or Martin. One will come up to the podium to provide these instructions. If Ruby or Martin can come up to the podium and provide the instructions.
Buenas noches. Si ustedes necesitan interpretación en español, Ruby y yo vamos a estar ahí atrás interpretando. Entonces, por favor, acérquense allá para recibir su equipo y poder escuchar la reunión. Gracias.
Thank you. We will now move on to public comment. Does anyone have a public comment on a topic not on the agenda? I want to be very clear about this. On a topic not in the agenda, the council may not discuss or take actions on items not in the agenda. Is there anyone that's here that's not for the agendized item this evening? No?
No, back to you, Chair, and then you guys can make your. Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Good evening. I am Supervisor Lisa Gaucher. It's good to be here with you this evening. I just want to make a quick announcement. I believe you have, once we go through the speaking process, there's only one speaker per card, no sharing of the cards. So if you're speaking, one speaker per card, no sharing the card. So you cannot give your time to someone else. So I hope that you will all speak on this item on your own, and I believe it's 2 minutes per speaker.
And also a reminder, you can only speak once on this item because we have a lot of audience and we want to make sure that everybody is heard. So we're going to limit to one speaker. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda? So moved. All in favor, say aye. Aye. We will now move on to our only agenda item. We will have a presentation from Steve Nowitz from Planning and Building, Director of San Mateo County. Okay, Nick's gonna go first, and then after him, we will have a presentation from Synapse School. Once this presentations are done, we will take public comment on this item. And also just to give a little bit of a background that this item has come to the council before, and it was discussed and voted on. And I just want to give a little bit of background on that. And we are now here on a special meeting discussing this item again. So welcome, Nick. The vote was negative. It was not approved. Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, and Chair, thank you so much. Again, my name is Nicholas Calderon with the County of San Mateo. And first would like to thank you all for coming out tonight. We know that this is a very important issue for all of you. And we recognized after the last NFOCC meeting and receiving the amount of emails we did and conversations with neighbors that really there needed to be another opportunity to directly hear feedback and directly hear from the community. And we understood that there may be.
Nick, I don't think your mic is on because they can't hear you in the back.
It's on, but can you just speak in the mic there?
Okay, there we go.
You can hold it too if you want.
What I just said was absolutely amazing. And so, we recognize that this is a very important issue for the community. And we recognize after the last North Fair Oaks Community Council meeting and having conversations with the neighbors that we needed to come back out here and hear more so that we can really better understand all sides of the situation. And so that's why we're here today. We're here because we want to have another opportunity to directly hear from all of you. And so we can then take that information, we can process that, and we can take the next steps accordingly. But ultimately, we want to hear from all of you so that we can make as informed decisions and next steps and recommendations as we can. So I appreciate you all coming here. I know many people have asked why we're doing this again. Again, it's for that reason. It's because it's so important that we directly hear from you. And that's why we're all here today. So thank you very much for making the time to come out today. And now I'm going to hand it over to Steve Monowitz, our Director of Planning and Building.
Good evening, everyone. Steve Monowitz, Director of the Planning and Building Department. Thank you for having us tonight. The matter that we're talking about is the renewal of the use permit that Sports House currently operates, as well as an amendment to that use permit to allow approximately 9,000 square feet of that space to be used for Synapse Campus number 2. So since the council previously considered the item, we have been working with the applicant to see if there are additional measures that can be added to the project to try and address the impact it's having on the surrounding community. So I'm just going to give a brief overview of the project to make sure everybody understands the project we're talking about, and then I'm going to talk about the additional measures that are under consideration. So if I could go to the next slide, please. I think you all are familiar with the location of the Sports House on Edison, just up from 5th. The Synapse School campus is on the same side of Edison on the far right of the screen. That's campus number 1. And next slide, please. And the school would occupy the eastern portion of the building, the white portion of the building there. Next slide. And this is the floor plan of that segment of the building. There's going to be 6 classrooms for 140 students, a couple additional bathrooms, and some office space. Next slide, please. This is the site plan showing the parking layout, as well as outdoor classroom space that will be established to the right of the building from this viewpoint. Next slide. And sorry if you go back one. Just note there's 170 parking spaces here, and then there's 60 parking spaces at the Synapse Campus number 1 that will be available for the Sports House patrons. Next slide, please. The project also includes the construction of almost 300 feet of new sidewalk between Synapse Campus number 1 and 5th Avenue. This will not only allow for students to walk between campus safely, but it will benefit pedestrians in the North Fair Oaks area overall. Next slide. So when we were here before, we explained that the project does comply with the zoning regulations in that it meets all the development standards contained in the development regulations. It's consistent with the North Fair Oaks Community Plan in terms of the proposed uses are allowed uses by the plan. And we're going to talk about traffic some more, so we'll go to the next slide, please. Okay, so the first time the project was presented to the council, there were a number of measures intended to address the impact that Sports House is having on the community. And I'll just quickly run through these. The Sports House will be allowed to use the Synapse School parking lot for overflow parking. They'll employ staff to patrol, monitor, and direct on-site parking. They'll post signage indicating the location of shared parking areas and help direct people looking for parking to those other parking areas. They'll require their employees to park on site so the employees are not taking up street parking. and they'll notify guests that law enforcement will be called and or vehicles may be towed if the vehicles are blocking residential driveways or fire hydrants. They'll encourage employees and guests to carpool and use rideshare services wherever possible. Announce neighbor-reported street parking violations on its speaker system so they can be addressed promptly. They'll be required to submit a parking study and biannual traffic studies to document that they are keeping their trips under the cap established for the Synapse School, and also to address any lingering traffic problems that may be occurring. The school currently has a shuttle program that I believe serves close to 100 students, and that will continue and be expanded as needed to serve the additional students. And they'll, as I mentioned earlier, limit the number of vehicle trips allowed for school drop-off. Next slide, please. So since those measures were initially introduced, the applicant has offered to supplement them in the following way. So recognizing that the tournaments have an impact on the community, the applicant has agreed to limit tournaments to no more than 30 days per calendar year. They'll post the calendar on the Sports House website showing when the tournaments and competition days will occur, so the neighbors know when to expect that. During tournaments, they'll eliminate other activities within the Sports House building. So things that used to occur at the same time as tournaments, such as birthday parties and soccer and basketball games, will no longer occur during tournaments and competition days. They're currently seeking additional parking agreements with the Edison Tech Park, as well as the Reich Center. And they will be providing QR codes to drivers so that they can easily locate the exact locations of these off-site parking areas. And then they have proposed to stagger the start and end times for volleyball court rentals Monday through Friday evenings to try and minimize traffic impacts on the neighborhood. Next slide. Finally, staff has been contemplating additional measures that could be added to the ones that have been offered by Sports House. The first one that we propose is making sure there's a sufficient gap between school pickup and the initiation of activities at Sports House, so there's not an overlap of traffic. We are contemplating requirements that would further reduce the number of tournaments so that they could only occur on one day per weekend on Saturday and on Sunday as well, but only when there's an official holiday on Monday. We've been talking about limiting the number of people allowed to attend tournaments to spectate through some sort of a ticket system that would be distributed to the team so that the players could only invite a limited number of family members to come spectate. We've been talking about requiring Sports House to fund the presence of sheriff's office personnel to be present during tournament events to monitor and enforce parking and driving regulations. We are considering conditions that will require all users of the Sports House to vacate the premises no later than 10:30. Rather than currently, the current use permit it requires all patrons to exit no later than midnight. And then finally, we are proposing to increase the number of administrative reviews from once every 2 years to once every year. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with what administrative reviews entail, it's an exercise by staff to ensure that the conditions of the permit are being complied with. In instances where we determine that there's non-compliance with conditions, the applicant has to bring the project into compliance or apply for an amendment to allow whatever condition needs to change within 30 days of us identifying that not inconsistency and failure to either come into compliance or gain approval of the necessary amendments would cause staff to initiate the revocation process. So use permits can be revoked for failure to comply with conditions. So those are the additional conditions that we've been thinking about. As Nicholas said, given these changes and given the additional measures that are on the table, we wanted to inform the community of these changes, get your feedback on them, and also hear from you if you believe additional measures are needed to ensure that both the sports house use and the Synapse School use minimize impacts to the surrounding neighborhood. Do I have anything else? Let's take a look at the next slide, if there is one, please. Okay, so our recommendation is to allow the applicant to make a presentation of their project and address the concerns expressed by community members to date. And then to hear from you on your thoughts about the additional conditions, any other requirements you think should be placed on the project. So that concludes my presentation. And if questions come up that I can help answer, I'll be happy to do so. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. And now I'll ask James Egan from Synapse School to do his presentation. Thank you and welcome.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Supervisor, for putting this together. Good to see people. Thanks, Steve. I would love to talk to you about the educational mission we have. I think a lot of people want to talk about the parking and the traffic, so I'll allow that to happen. But I did want to make sure that people understood who we are. So Synapse School it's a nonprofit. First of all, I'll get into that in a second. And it's a TK through 8th grade, ages 4 to 14 are the students. We're perhaps one of the smallest independent schools that I know of, certainly on the peninsula. And every nonprofit has a mission. And so the mission of our school is to create a community of change makers. So the expectation is the students understand what that means to make positive change. That's the whole point of the school, but so do the adults. That's why we say it's a community of change makers. So show of hands, who's here from Synapse School, right? Okay, it's a lot of people. Yeah, thanks for showing up. This is what it means to be a positive change maker. So with that in mind, we understand and really actually agree that there are issues in the neighborhood. We're part of the neighborhood. We've been at that location for 15 years. This is my 13th year. So we have partnerships throughout the neighborhood. The Reiki Center's next door. They run our nature program, fine arts, our performing arts program. They generate a great amount of revenue from our partnership. We gain, they gain. We have In Sports House. There's a restaurant that's run there. Freddie's here right now. He gains, we gain from that. The neighborhood gains from that. So we're also an employer to people within the neighborhood. I have close to 10 staff. Some of them are here tonight who live in the neighborhood and work at the school, right? They're able to raise families because of what we're doing. We have over 25, close to 30 students from the neighborhood, right, who walk to school, come to school, are part of the school. So I think last time that wasn't clear. I want to make sure that people understand we're part of the neighborhood too. And we really want to see parking and traffic mitigated and addressed, right? I think that both of us, the neighbors who've lived there a long time, as well as some of us who've worked there for a long time, feel it could be better. And we want to be part of that solution and we want to be part of that dialogue. Some of the other things that we've done in the neighborhood. It's a private school. Everybody knows private schools have tuition. That's how we exist. And we've given quite a bit to the neighborhood, $2.5 million in financial assistance to people who come through the Peninsula Bridge program, who also live in North Fair Oaks. That's over 5 years. That's a lot of money that we've dedicated to this neighborhood that we care about. So again, I don't think that was fully explained last time, and that's probably on me. I didn't expect the showing, and that's okay too, because as I see some of our students here, this is what it's all about in democracy. It's about showing up. It's about having a voice. It's about working it out with your neighbors for a positive change. So that's really all we want to happen here today, is just a dialogue to continue. I think I'm going to leave it at that, because I know there's probably a lot of comments that want to be said from neighbors who live within North Fair Oaks, but certainly those who work and maybe also live in North Fair Oaks. So that's it for me. Thanks for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you. Moving on our agenda, are there any comments from our council members before we open it up to public comment? From council members, Councilmember Daly, you have comment?
The membership numbers for Sports House.
The question was the number of memberships for Sports House, and I do not have that number handy. I'm not sure if the applicant might have that. No, I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm also curious to know, what, if you put these limitations in place for Sports House, how does that going to affect the bottom line, and what changes would you have to make if it does affect the bottom line for Sports House? You limit all the things they can do, what happens?
The conditions that we require need to be complied with. We're not really basing them on finances or the financial success. So I'm sure if the limitations we're proposing, threatens the business, they'll let us know, but to date, that hasn't been specifically raised.
Okay. And is planning and building aware of the fact that some things are already happening over at the Sports House site?
Yes.
And that those are unpermitted, correct?
Oh, I don't know about that. I know about the issues of concern that the community has expressed, but
Vans are going back and forth and things have already started to happen at Sports House for the Synapse expansion that is yet to be approved. So.
Yes, I just recently learned that they are using the Sports House site for school pickup and drop off. And my understanding is that that's helped minimize impacts on the neighborhood, but it has not gone through any sort of permit review process.
Okay. Same thing in 2022, in January of 2022, when Synapse came forward with wanting to raise the numbers at the school and also take away parking spaces. Even though it was during COVID, they did put tents up. So they had already taken the parking spaces away. And that was unpermitted. That was not permitted. That was not on permit. And it came in front of planning and building, and that was kind of overlooked.
I wouldn't characterize it as being overlooked. I think that our determination that because the nature of the change in use during COVID involved a lot less visitors coming to the site, a lot less vehicle use, and necessitate people stay outdoors to the degree possible, we authorize that as a minor modification to their permit.
Okay. Is the sheriff still using the space at Sports House?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. Going back to the 2022, what kind of community engagement was done for the neighbors on like 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th Edison Way and Fair Oaks Avenue in 2022?
I'm not sorry, what project are you referring to?
When they wanted to expand and they took away parking, what kind of community engagement was done?
Yeah, that was approved administratively by staff, so there was no public review of that.
So the public never got a chance to tell anyone in 2022 that it was a problem, correct?
Well, we didn't, the process of reviewing and approving a minor modification is done at the staff level. So no, there was no conversation with the public about it.
And does planning and building look at code violations when they take applications into consideration?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Okay, Councilmember Daly, I'm sorry, Perrosini.
Hi, this probably, I don't know if you know the answer, or maybe this is a question. Oh, sorry. Hi, no one's ever accused me of being quiet. Wow, I usually don't need a mic. Question, you said one of the mitigation efforts was limiting the volleyball tournaments, which I know we've heard and it's been advertised over like 5,000 on one weekend day. And you said limiting it to 30 per year. That's still over 2 a month. I'm very curious what the current level of volleyball tournaments are and how this modification changes from the existing to what you're proposing. Or what they are proposing. My apologies.
Yes, the limit to 30 days in the calendar year is what the applicant has proposed. What we've suggested is potentially further limiting it to only on Saturdays. Right now, it occurs on Saturdays and Sundays, with the exception on a long weekend, they could do it on Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, any other comments from any other council members before we open it up to public comment?
I have a
Council-
question. This is George Simon. Sorry, I'm remote.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, George. I didn't know you were online.
Oh, apologies. My question goes along the same lines that was asked before. How many current events do you currently have per year? You're proposing 30. However, what do you currently stand at on average?
I would have to have the sports house representative or Synapse School representative answer that.
First, I want to go back to the 2022, because I think there was some confusion. That was a sport, I think it was Sports House, and those was the volleyball courts, that because the activities couldn't be done inside. So that wasn't Synapse School asking for anything. That was Sports House asking for volleyball courts that took parking spots away. So that's, I think that's what we meant. But I'll let Angela speak to the Sports House situation.
Mr. Egan, before you step away, at the last meeting, you currently, this is 2022, but currently you are the leaseholder
Right.
to both properties currently, right?
Yeah, we're the master leaseholder.
Okay, just wanted to clarify that. Sure.
Hi, everybody. I'm Angela. I'm one of the owners at Sports House. I also live in the North Fair Oaks area on 6th Avenue. To answer your question about the events, at least the financial impact, I appreciate you bringing that to the attention to everybody. Right now, we've gone down to the number of 30 to, that's kind of like where if we go any lower than that, we will have financial implications that would affect our operations severely to where we would probably cease to be able to operate efficiently. Currently, as far as the events that we have 45 different dates throughout the year of the events that we have going on.
Since you're up there,
Yeah.
if you don't mind,
Yeah.
can you explain to the community and to us your relationship to the school and your independent operation?
Yeah, absolutely. So Sports House, as a building, we lease space to different people that come in. Our relationship with Synapse is we have our own sublease under Synapse so that our operations are outside of school hours. So the students are in there during the day. We have a couple office spaces in the back where we are just working away at our own computers and phones. And then the kids are all in there. But we have space that are volleyball courts, soccer fields. If you guys have ever been inside, it's quite a good environment to be in. It's a lot of competitiveness. It's a lot of fun. But all we do is lease space. So we lease court space, we lease basketball court space, volleyball court space, and soccer space. And then we also have our birthday parties. If you guys have ever been to any of them, anywhere from 3 years old all the way up until 13-year-olds, playing soccer, playing basketball, eating the food, the really great pizza from Freddie at the Grill. But that's kind of what we are doing at Sports House. It's a lot of youth, and then we also have our adult programs as well.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Councilmember Esser, you are up next.
Before we started public comment, I just wanted to thank everyone in the room for attending this evening. I've been on this council for going on 6 years now, including 3 as chair, and I believe this is the largest audience we've ever had. So thanks all for coming out tonight. And I'd like to encourage all of you to continue to take an interest in the activities of the council. Take a look at our agendas. When you see an item of interest to you, please come on out to a meeting. I think you've seen tonight that we are your voice to county government, and we really do need your input. So thank you all for coming out tonight.
Any other council member? Councilmember Parisi.
And this probably is for you, Jim. I'm curious if you've considered many private schools in the area live in residential or areas that weren't really suited for the level of cars, pickup events, etc. And if you go to the Redwood City Target off of El Camino, there is a private school that they bus there, pick up and drop off every day. We have a wonderful market down the street from you, DeLucci's. It's like a 3-minute drive. I'm just wondering if you've considered doing drop off and pick up there, because I think, we're going to hear from all of your community members that are going to say how great the school is. It's not the school that, anyone, I would say, in the community or on this council is putting in question. It's really how much for the folks, including myself, that live here can handle any more traffic. It just presenting a host of issues.
Yeah, I mean, we're open. I mean, I've worked at other schools that have had these sort of situations up in Hillsborough. There's schools that, have train pass requirements for sure. But I think, so we're definitely open to that. But I also want to make it clear the traffic that we are creating it's an hour window across the day, right? It's 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the afternoon, 180 days a year, right? We're a school, so we're not open in the summer with vacations. So I know there will be an additional traffic impact, absolutely, but I don't want the neighbors to think that we're just creating rolling. It's not a factory. So parents are coming in the morning, afternoon, but I would be open to that.
Events. I have
And
friends that
events.
have
Yeah, we're a
kids at your
school.
wonderful school.
Yeah, it's a
and
community.
You are making change makers, and you
Sure.
host all day events where parents walk through and view projects at Sports House and parent teacher night and, yard duty and all sorts of other things. So
Yeah.
I would just want to clarify this. I don't think it's just 30 minutes in the morning and the afternoon.
Yeah, understood. But as a school, those are the windows, and the county we're having traffic studies during those windows. With that said, to your original question, yeah, I would be open to anything that helps mitigate the situation that doesn't, impact our ability to be a school and for me to pay my teachers and pay the rent.
Hi, my name is Eric Story. I'm the Director of Operations. I'd be happy to talk about our current shuttle program and how many, stops there are and stuff like that, if that's of interest to you. I don't know if that's related enough to your question about the DeLucci's parking lot and having a shuttle from there.
Yeah, I mean, we're certainly interested.
Great. So we too currently operate a shuttle program. We partner with KidsJet. I believe there are, in the morning, there's more ridership. We pick up from places like Palo Alto, Menlo Park. So they're usually like at a public location, similar to like you're saying a Target or something, but more like a library or community center or something like that. I think in the morning, there's up to 43 riders, I believe. And in the afternoons, it's about 23 riders.
And remind me what your student population is currently?
It's 310.
Oh, sorry. What is your current student population without the expansion?
310.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll do that right now.
Also,
Super loud, yeah.
hello?
Just
Yeah,
speak into
all
the
right.
Good. That's good.
Also, I just wanted to tag on a little bit of what Jim said as well. The Sports House ownerships, Angela and her team have just taken over ownership of the business in the last year. So a lot of the issues that I think the neighbors are holding on strongly to are from the past. And I think their team is understanding the implications and working really hard to improve the situation. And Jim and myself have received a lot of positive comments from folks on the council, as well as other neighbors saying, we do like Synapse, we do like the way you guys operate. Jim explained a little bit about our culture of being change makers and affecting positive change in our community. And I think our culture will be able to help Angela and her team at Sports House to have that same culture and be able to expand that and work with the community to improve the situation for everybody, ourselves, as well as everybody else in the community.
Thank you. Any other council members with public comment before we open it up? I would like to say thank you, Council Member Parasini, for making it clear that we are very much in favor of school. I've been a high school teacher for 25 years. It's not against the school. We're just trying to work out the logistics here of the residents. I personally live 3 blocks away from the school. And so it's not personal against the school by any means. It's just, we're trying to see what this is a recurring problem and an increasing problem. And I know there are a lot of parents here to the school, and you only see your perspective as a parent. But the residents that live there 24 hours a day, they see it differently, and they have to live with driveways being blocked and nuisance and loitering at times and other issues. So we are trying to reach a amicable understanding, and we understand you are a member of the community. I've expressed in a previous meeting that I've played soccer at the sports house in the adult league in the evening. I think we need more recreation in North Fair Oaks, and Sports House provides that. So it's nothing personal against Sport House or the school. I just want to be very clear about that. The reason we're here, as Nick alluded to earlier, we need to just reach a plan that works for everybody. If there are no other comments from council members, supervisor, are there any comments? Okay, then we'll go straight to public comments.
Awesome. So we'll begin with the in-person public comments, and then we'll go on to Zoom. So a reminder, you cannot give your 2 minutes to someone else. You have to speak for yourself with your public comment. And so when I call your name, you may one by one come up to the podium, and you'll be given 2 minutes for your public comment.
And you can also only speak once, please. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. So first, I'd like to call Rachel to the podium. Rachel, and then followed by Augustine. So you can start, when I start calling your name, you can come up, start making your way up. After Augustine, Yareth.
Hello. Hi. Hi. My name is Rachel, and I'm a mother of 4, a Synapse parent, and also a troop leader for the Synapse Girl Scouts with kindergartners and first graders. And I just want to share examples of how the school encourages children to be kind and be part of the community. So the first thing we did was we worked with the North Fair Oaks Beautification Association to help clean up the North Fair Oaks community playground. And so they picked up trash, they cleaned up the sandbox, and they basically learned what it's like to be a good neighbor. And I think, yeah, they really enjoyed taking care of the space that everyone enjoys so much. It's really close to school. And the second thing we did was we created holiday centerpieces for the dining hall at St. Anthony's Church. And they learned about the purpose of a food bank, food insecurity, and also why it's really important to help the people that are in need. And so it's very interesting because they're so young. Even though they're really young, they're very excited to contribute and help others feel cared for. And so, yeah, so these are just examples of these are just examples of things that, or they reflect the values that the Synapse community really care about, which is being kind and helping others and just having empathy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, council members, county representatives. I am very happy and glad for Synapse owners and the parents who attend, who can afford to pay $50,000 to take the kids to that school. Good for them. Yet somebody's pocket is doing reach to the cost of the community. One way that we, the community, we wish to see is the school, one of the options that could say is, okay, 25% of the enrollment is gonna be students from the trailers, from the community to help that. That's one option the community could help because they're doing well, they're successful. We need people of that kind on the neighborhood, but we need them to help our community to excel. The community is in pain because there is so much the traffic around. It's just frustrating because other parents have been saying, they call the police and the police take forever to go over there. So they put on the flyer that they're gonna increase the police. What does that mean that for us? Doesn't mean nothing. We need a change. Synapse outgrow themselves. They're doing so successful that they need to move somewhere else where they can, so that people in the community, they can have peace. Please, county, looking at those affectors. It's important. They're doing well. They're rich people. I cannot afford to take my kids over there. People that you can see on the wall over there, do you think that they can afford to pay $50,000 to take the kids over there? There are people from the rich area around. So please listen to us, help us. Thank you.
Thank you. Next,
Yareth? Yareth? No? Okay, we'll come back. Oh, yeah. Oh, can I have Martin, Ruby?
Buenas noches. Traigo mi traducción también para si alguien la quiere leer en inglés, lo traigo traducido y yo voy a hablar en español.
No, yo leo la traducción de español.
Okay. Buenas noches, lo voy a leer porque lo hice antes, ¿ok? Buenas noches. Mi nombre es Janet, vivo en North Fair Oaks. Les pido que no vuelvan a votar sobre este tema, pero si hay votación, por favor, nieguen la renovación del permiso de uso de Sport House hasta que el condado confirme que se cumple todas las condiciones del permiso y que no hay impactos de tráfico, estacionamiento ni seguridad para los vecinos. También les pido que nieguen CENEP Campus número 2 en Sport House, porque este lugar no puede manejar de forma segura ninguna operación adicional. Quiero compartir mi experiencia. Hace unos años asistí a una cena de recaudación de fondos de la escuela CENAP. Ahí comenté que me gustaría que mis hijos asistieran a esa escuela. Un empleado me dijo que una secretaria que hablaba español me ayudaría con información sobre admisión y becas. La secretaria me llamó una vez, pero nunca volvió a comunicarse conmigo. Yo fui varias veces a la escuela buscando información, pero siempre me decían que ella no estaba. Como cualquier madre, yo quería lo mejor para mis hijos. Yo creo que usted me recuerda. Fue con usted que hablé y fue muy amable conmigo. Y eso, yo llamé, busqué ayuda, pregunté para las becas, pregunté cómo hacer para inscribir a mis hijos. Tengo 2 hijos que van a la escuela. En ese tiempo iba uno a kinder y el otro iba a 6º grado. Nunca me llamaron, nunca supe ya más nada. Yo quería que ellos asistieran allí, pero pues no sé. A lo mejor porque pregunté por becas, no me respondieron para atrás. Pues mi salario es mínimo, o sea, gano menos de $50,000 al año. Entonces, no sé, nunca pude ayudar, nadie me pudo ayudar para ver si mis hijos iban a la escuela con usted. Gracias.
No, ya,
Okay, so here's the translation of what she has said. My name is Janet and I live in North Fair Oaks. I ask you that you do not vote on this issue again, but if there's a vote, please deny the renewal of the sports house use permit until the county confirms that all permit conditions are being met and that there are no traffic, parking, or safety impacts on neighbors. I also ask that you deny Synapse Campus number 2 at the sports house because this site cannot safely handle any additional operations. I want to share my experience. A few years ago, I attended a fundraising event or dinner for Synapse School. While I was there, I mentioned that I would like my children to attend that school, and an employee told me that the secretary who spoke Spanish would help me with information about admissions and scholarships. The secretary called me only once, but she never contacted me again. and I went to school several times looking for information, but each time I was told that she was not there. Like any mother, I wanted the best for my children, but after trying several times, I felt sad and rejected. I never learned what scholarships they offer or whether my family could qualify. To me, it became clear that this school is not meant for families like ours in North Fair Oaks, and now they also want to bring more traffic and problems to our community. Please do not renew the Sports House permit and deny Synapse Campus number 2 at Sports House. Thank you for your consideration. And what she was saying, talking to him, is that she spoke to, I don't know who, you? Yeah, and, so she said thank you because he spoke to her and everything. But, that was the only time nobody else reached out to her to, hear her concerns or hear her, whatever she wanted. She said she makes less than $50,000 a year. And obviously she cannot afford, but she was looking for ways, so the kids could attend this school, with scholarships or things like that. So, yeah. Okay.
Next speaker.
Yeah. Next speakers, we have Maima Raphael, followed by Chris, and then after Chris, Stuart.
If all the speakers could be lined up, please, so we can go quickly. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Sure. Good evening, Council. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming here at this evening to take time out of your busy schedule. Anyway, my name is Maima Raphael, and I don't live in North Fair Oaks, but I work very close to North Fair Oaks, and I see some of my friends from work here, so that's nice. I want to talk about my son's experience with Synapse. He was at a different public school in the Bay Area, and he felt that he wasn't really having fun, he said. He was bored. And at that age, he was in second grade, and I had to make the very challenging decision to move him to a school where we felt would give him the education of the whole child, not just the social, the emotional, but the academic. Synapse represents something so much for our son. He's an introvert. So he's not the, look at me kid. He is a quiet leader. And Synapse was able to tap into his inner being, meet him where he is, and able to help him thrive. We're seeing him as a different person when he started at Synapse. It took a bit of time, and Synapse is not utopia. However, it provides experience for kids who want to be there. He's a change maker. He's an engineer. And he looked at the makerspace, 12,000 square feet, and he went crazy because this is who he is. And Synapse has embraced this child and helped him to have a complete experience, a submersive experience, something that he couldn't get in his public school. And you have the best kept secret here in all of the Bay Area. I'm telling you, Synapse is a gem. It takes me 5 minutes to get to work, and I'm so pleased coming in and just seeing how much he thrives. I mean, he played soccer, and Chairman Juan, you might be challenged by the Synapse kids. They won the championship in the Bay Area, and he practiced at Synapse. So it's a great experience. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chris.
We need the speakers up, please. Whoever's next.
Yeah, Chris. Yeah. Chris, and then after Chris, Stuart. So
Okay,
Chris, yeah.
good. All right. Thank you, supervisors, and thank you for all the community members that are here. My name is Chris Emig. I live on 9th Avenue in Menlo Park. I've lived there for 17 years. I ran a business for 10 years at Edison Tech Park, and I've watched an incredible amount of development happen in the area. One of the things I want to do is thank the county and the building department for everything that they've done on Middlefield. I think you can see how carefully managed development plan, although uncomfortable for a number of years, creates the kind of change that benefits our community, fits the community's needs, and really does elevate the potential of the people that live in North Fair Oaks. So thank you for that. And I think it is a testament to seeing how that kind of careful development can impact our community in other ways. So both, as a resident, I do have concerns of traffic, right? So like everybody does, the one time that some parent may have driven fast down my street a year ago,
we still talk about it every Friday night. You know, how dare they? And so I think that is a message for Synapse that they really do have to take our community's needs into effect. But one of the things that gives me a lot of hope is the way that Synapse is a member of the community and really wants to be a member of the community and promote positive change. Second thing I want to do is separate Sports House and Synapse. Those are two separate businesses. Synapse happens to be the leaseholder of both. I think Sports House is an amazing community center that is, you know, we are very lucky to have Sports House, and we should do everything we can to support that. My kids learned how to play soccer there. We go to the arcade regularly. And I really think the community needs third spaces like that so we can get together, so you can hobnob with random Bay Area CEOs to see there, because there's not a lot of places that enable us to have those kind of really important community interactions.
Thank you.
Just like we're having right now.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
Next, we have Stuart, followed by Dale, and the next Jennifer.
I'll be brief. My name is Stuart Sussman. I live on 7th Avenue, right near Synapse School.
Thank you. Yes, lower. Thank you.
Oh, so I'm short now. Great. My name is Stuart Sussman. I live on 7th Avenue near Synapse School. Regarding all these issues, I've sent my thoughts to all of you in a letter, which I'm sure you've read and enjoyed. A few days ago, I was talking to my neighbors, collecting signatures for a petition about this issue, and I found that people really did care about our neighborhood, North Fair Oaks, but everyone was actually much more concerned with what's happening in the world. And then it hit me. We're just wasting time here. The council has already debated and voted on this issue, and now we have to waste more time trying to convince you again. There are a lot of bad things going on in the world, and these local issues are barely on that list. But here we are again. Your choice is a simple one. You have the power to make life in North Fair Oaks better or make it worse. The solution to the problem of too many cars is fewer cars, not short-term, uncodified promises and mitigation band-aids. I urge you to protect our community and reject those who abuse it. Please deny both the Sports House use permit and the expansion of the Synapse School. Thank you.
Thank you. Reminder, public comment, can you guys please speak into the mic? People in the back cannot hear you guys. Thank you. So please speak into the mic. Next, we have Dale, followed by Jennifer, and then after Jennifer is Gabriella.
Good evening, Chairman Prado, Supervisor Gaucher, council members, county, Steve, long time no see. I sat on the council for over 20 years. I live on 9th, just blocks from these businesses. And I sat on the council when the initial permits were approved. And so in my opinion, over the years, rarely has these two businesses complied with their use permits. And so I would like to see at minimum that these businesses come into compliance with their current use permits for a period of 6 months to a year. Let's see if the sheriff shows up for bad parking. Let's see if they can survive financially with these restrictions, the restrictions that were just listed there. Let's see those in effect for a period of time. Either of these businesses are not going to go out of business, you know, in 6 months to a year. And let's develop a relationship between the residents and the businesses and the, you know, parents of the students. I'm not against the school or the Sports House. I voted for both of them years ago. Let's just see the enforcement that needs to take place for the quality of life for the neighbors.
Yeah. Jennifer, thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jennifer Booker, and I actually am also on 9th. There's a lot of people from 9th Avenue that are here tonight. I am actually a longtime Synapse parent. I've been at Synapse now for 9 years in total, and actually a more recent Fair Oaks resident. So I actually purchased my house 2 years ago. And I actually think that that's a testament to the school because I spent 7 years driving through the neighborhood, dropping off my son, and I chose to actually live here. And so if I think the amount of traffic, or if I saw people that were treating the neighborhood in a poor way, then I would have actually have invested dollars in order to actually live and build in this community. And so the other thing that I would just like to express is what Synapse has done for me and my family. We've actually had a chance to live in other places in the Bay Area, and my son has gone to other schools, especially when he was in preschool, and I would say that he was not as accepted, but we actually found a place in the community with Synapse, and it means really a lot to me, and I'm gonna cry because my son is actually graduating this year, and I hope that the next school that he goes to loves and cares for him as much as Synapse did. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next speaker, please. Next speaker, please.
I think it's Gabriella. Gabriella,
Please be ready. Go ahead. Who else?
followed by Gabriella, it's Ever. And then after Ever, it's Cristobal.
Good evening. My name is Gabriela, and I live in North Fair Oaks across from the Sports House. I present to you 86 signatures of North Fair Oaks residents, many of whom could not be here today. I also ask that you please note that we, the North Fair Oaks community, are overwhelmingly outnumbered, and it feels quite unfair when we are the ones being asked to bear the brunt of the problems created by this expansion. The North Fair Oaks Council already voted on this issue. This feels like a do-over for Synapse being facilitated by the Planning and Building Department. I ask that you please ask yourself, if the vote had been different to approve the project, would we be here tonight? Those of us who live here should have been given the opportunity to make a presentation, just as much time as Synapse has been given. The privilege to make a long uninterrupted presentation should be given to residents as well before any other vote is taken. North Fair Oaks neighbors, please raise your hand. Vecinos de North Fair Oaks, por favor, levanten la mano. I want you to see how many people are here from North Fair Oaks, and the majority of the people that are here are not from North Fair Oaks. You know, some of you, but the majority of them.
Turn it on, turn it on, turn it on.
So, excuse me. We are not going to go back and forth. We are not going to have that meeting dialogue. If you could present to the council here, and if the public, you will have your opportunity to speak, but let's not have this back and forth. It just causes confusion.
Thank you. The North Fair Oaks council members, given the unfair amount of time given to us, the residents, please do not vote again. The process should follow. Synapse has an opportunity to appeal the issue if it's not favorable to them. The central issue here is not a mitigation issue. The central issue is one of lack of capacity. Traffic studies done during Easter and spring break are frankly insulting to North Fair Oaks residents.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Next, we have Ever, and then after Ever, it's Cristobal. After Cristobal is Josie.
Thank you. Please be ready, be queued. Thank you.
Good evening, Ever Rodriguez on Edison Way. I'm sorry that we bring you complaints again. Neither council members nor the residents should be here again tonight, as this council already voted and rejected the expansion project because it was apparent that it is unsustainable, that it brings no benefits to this community, and that it will only exacerbate our problems by bringing excessive traffic, more parking problems, endangering pedestrians and people riding bicycles, and generating much more pollution by cars idling in a community that lacks trees, sidewalks, bike lanes, sufficient parking enforcement, and has the poorest infrastructure in the area. Tonight, we should have the Department of Planning and Building telling us how they can help North Fair Oaks to have better infrastructure. But instead, they are here adamant to push Synapse's project forward despite the residents' concerns. In the staff report you received, council members, the measures related to Sport House are only promises that would be difficult to enforce, as it has proven to be since 2011 by Sports House. But most notably, these are not measures, there are no measures related to Synapse's growth. So we can assume that they still want to push for their original plan, bringing 155 cars while eliminating parking spaces. But yes, the mitigating measures for Sports House should have been applied years ago, including the ones still under consideration, because Sports House has been in violation of its operational permit for years, and we want county to hold them accountable for such violations. But what about Synapse? Have they looked at enough capacity for this project? I doubt it. Can I get an extra minute, please?
We have to be fair to everyone I'm sorry. No one got an extra minute.
So many community members that do not speak English, and they were hoping to yield their time so that we can get the message from the community. And so they.
No, I understand. So what we're saying is that we're just giving everybody 2 minutes. They presented and answered questions. The others were not presenting. But we can definitely get your information. Can you send it to us in writing? Could you email what you have?
Sure, I can.
Thank you.
Next speaker, please. We also have interpreting services. If there's anyone here that doesn't feel comfortable or competent enough in English, we have interpreting service. They can come and speak. Go ahead, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Dear council members, community members, good evening. My name is Josie and I live on 8th. Our family also moved to this neighborhood just last year, and we became residents here. So really proud. And I want to start by expressing my deep gratitude to the drivers in our neighborhood, because my husband, my 7-year-old son, and myself, we bike along Edison to both Synapse and Sports House on a daily basis. And the drivers we've encountered are incredibly respectful. They drive slowly, stop early, and always let us go safely. This shows high level of care already present in our community, and I'm really, really thankful for that. However, even with such respectful drivers, our physical infrastructure in the community is not keeping up. We have a significant lack of sidewalks, traffic lights, and law enforcement, especially at the intersection of Edison and 5th. These are public works that we as neighbors need to address. I believe Synapse's expansion is an opportunity for us to unite our voices. By working together, the school and the residents, we can advocate for the San Mateo County resources and infrastructure improvements that North Fair Oaks deserves. My neighbors, I invite you to work with one of our biggest and most dedicated neighbors, Synapse School, to use this growth/change as a way to make our streets safer for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
Next, we have Cristobal Fuentes, followed by Shintong, and then Eric.
Hola, buenas noches, miembros del consejo.
Oh, it's okay. She can say in Spanish.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, she said, good evening to everyone.
Yo soy vecina de Synapsis. Vivo en la 6th Avenida, 2 minutos de la escuela.
So she lives near Synapsis, 2 minutes of walking distance from Synapsis.
Por 26 años.
For 26 years.
Cool. Ay, perdón.
No, es
Ok. Y trabajo para la escuela, justo cumplo 10 años.
And she's working for the school and she just turned 10 years working there.
I don't think your mic is on.
And so she just turned 10 years working in the school.
En la escuela. Para mí es un support bien grande.
So that's a big support for me.
Sí, ellos, tuve mucho apoyo de ellos.
I have a lot of support from them.
Por mi cirugía, por la muerte de mi padre.
Because I had surgery and because my father died.
Iba a morir de COVID, pero gracias a Dios está vivo.
My brother was going to die from COVID, but he survived.
Y pienso yo que sería bueno que pensemos un minuto en la educación.
So also she, encouraged everybody to think about the importance of education.
Tengo 26 años en esa calle, en la Sexta Avenida.
She's been living in that street for 26 years.
Y pienso yo que no es la escuela en sí el tráfico. Ustedes no saben que pasan muchos carros.
So the issue is not a school, it's the traffic. Yeah.
Evitan las compañías grandes, camiones grandes, los semáforos y atraviesan las calles. Y eso hace el tráfico.
So it's the big trucks that come to the neighborhood that block the traffic, because I think they block the lights, and then that's the people who are causing the traffic.
Entonces, yo les pido de que piensen y analicen toda la situación para que podamos tener esta oportunidad, tanto para nosotros los empleados y tener más personas empleadas ahorita.
So I want everybody to think that this is a good thing for not only for the community, but also for the people who work for the school and everything. So benefits everyone.
Así que gracias y buenas noches.
Thank you and good night.
Okay. Next, we have Shintong, followed by Eric, and then Jose.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Xintong Wen. So I'm a local resident. I live in the 15th Avenue. I'm also like a Synapse parent. I really appreciate Synapse to bring our families to this beautiful community. So I really appreciate it. We love it here. And as a Synapse parent, so I actually get to know more neighbors and families through Synapse organized events. For example, the Buy Nothing Fair that I just volunteered a couple of weeks ago. And also like the community fun events I also volunteered through Synapse. So I get to know more neighbors. So I think Synapse is part of our neighbors. So we are together. So we're not against each other. And also I see more and more families like Josie, Synapse families move to these communities that we all love here. And so I think our community is thriving and becomes more inclusive and more diversified. So I'm really happy to see it. I do understand the concern for the traffic. And I want to share that, Synapse is raising amazing kids. There are amazing things happening every day. I cannot express how much I appreciate the school. And we're raising kids, who not just change makers, but who love themselves. And that's so rare and important. And I have full confidence in Jim and in Synapse School. And also as a parent, I'm very flexible to whatever things we can do to make this traffic situation better. And I'm pretty sure the whole Synapse community, we can work together with the North Fair Oaks and really to solve the problem and create a win-win situation. Because when Synapse thrives, I think the community thrives. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Eric Hugh. Eric Hugh, followed by Jose Fajardo.
Good evening. My name is Eric, and we are residents of the community. We have been here we lived here actually on 14th Avenue for 10 plus years. And we love this neighborhood, and we are raising a family here. We also are a Synapse parent. My son started at Synapse since kindergarten, and he's been there for 6 years now. And my daughter is starting this coming September. So over those past 6 years, I've seen my son grow and thrive in the school, and he loves his friends and his friendships and his teachers. And more importantly, I think he's also learned the importance of being a community member to help with the community. And I also want to emphasize that Synapse is not just belong to the community, because Synapse is already part and also a positive force of the community. Because, for example, the projects, such as beautification projects and also the Buy Nothing projects that we participated, that's also helping the community. And we truly love the community and value the community, and we hope we can all find a path forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Jose Fajardo, followed by Manuel, and then after Manuel, Eric Allison.
Muy buenas noches.
Se puede acercar al micrófono, por favor, acérquese más. Gracias.
Muy buenas noches. Mi nombre es José Fajardo. Yo he vivido por 25 años en la 8 Avenida.
So, good evening, Jose, and he's been living in the neighborhood for 26 years. Sorry.
Y desde que la escuela empezó a operar, veo que el tráfico es muy pesado.
And since the school started operating, the traffic has always been like crazy.
Para evitar todas estas delegaciones, todos estos problemas, yo pienso que a lo mejor, esa es mi opinión, la escuela puede buscar un lugar más alejado para no hacer tráfico.
In order to fix this issue, I think the school should look for a bigger place or away from the neighborhood, so they can. That's the only way to fix the traffic problem.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Yeah. Next, we have Manuel. Manuel. Rumors what?
Like what the last name is.
Oh, Contreras. Yeah, sorry about that.
Hey, how's it going? My name is Manny. I'm born and raised here in Redwood City. I grew up about a block away, lived there for a couple of years, and then I moved to 4th Avenue. Like I said, I was born and raised here. Growing up, we always had something to do. Malibu, the roller ring, ice skating. We don't have that anymore. Now we have Sports House where I can go with my family, enjoy a fun day of soccer, get some good food, things like that. That's the only place aside from Chuck E. Cheese, which is for kids, that a family can go and, have a really good time with the family and have fun, Again, I was born and raised here in Redwood City. Aside from that, again, that's the only thing we have. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say, that it's a really good place. That's the only place that we have, to take our families. I have my kids' birthdays there. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Eric Allison. Eric Allison, followed by Stephanie Beasley. And then followed by Stephanie, we have Renee.
Hi, thank you for having us, and thank you for all of the comments from everyone. My name is Eric Allison. I recently actually moved to the community. We just purchased a house on Encina Avenue, and I wanted to just say a little bit about we've been a Synapse parent for a Synapse family for six years now, and our daughter is currently a rising, almost a 5th grader now. And the way she's flourished in a school that cares about the entire person is incredibly important to us. So we spend a lot of time looking at different schools, trying to understand what is the type of community, what is the type of setting that we want our child to be raised in, especially with all of the changes happening in the world and the way the education of children as an entirety, with their social and emotional self being front and center in the way that they grow up is more important today than it's ever been. And it will continue to be more and more important as the world changes around us at an ever increasing rate, which we see constantly with the way technology is going. We moved here, like I said, recently. We've been spending this entire trimester walking to school, which is the reason that we moved here. And we hope to continue to do this for a long time and support this community and this school. And I have to say, what I think Josie said was resonated with me, that there is a need for more infrastructure for sure. And I think it's very interesting. I did a lot of research on the area before moving here in terms of the history of and the subdivision history from 100 years ago, and the way that in so many ways the community has fallen through the cracks in different ways. And I think that the county needs to take that into account and continue the development projects that they're doing to make this a better place. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Thank you. Hi, my name's Stephanie Beasley, and I have actually lived in District 4 for 33 years, most of my life. I'm also a Synapse parent. My daughter went to Synapse from kindergarten and graduated from 8th grade last year. I cannot say enough good things about this school. It changed my daughter's life. I feel like I'm going to cry. She went from being a dyslexic kindergartner to reading beautifully and getting straight A's in high school right now. And that was because of Synapse, the amazing teachers, the amazing community. I understand that's my little personal story, but I have been a resident here for 33 years. I have seen a lot of good happen and a lot of bad happen in our neighborhood. This beautiful corridor on Middlefield, fantastic. Thank you for making that happen, making the community better. We've got some crummy things happening right now. We have a smoke store, tobacco store within 3 blocks of 3 schools. That should be something we talk about. This is not an enormous issue. Yes, we need to work on traffic. You will never have a better neighbor than Synapse or Sports House. They want to work with the community, guys. And I'll just leave you with this parting idea. Who will take over if they leave? I saw a sign back here saying, what about the community? How will this help our community? You've got 2 neighbors here who want to help our community. Do you know who was in Sports House before? A beer distributor with constant trucks, constant. You talk about traffic, nightmare. And part of Synapse was going to be Amazon. How much fun would that have been to have Amazon trucks day in, day out? Just please think about it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker, please.
Next, we have Renee. We have Renee Jimenez, followed by Pooja Mattel. After Pooja, we have Lorraine Ramirez.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Renee Jimenez, and I am a resident of the North Fair Oaks community. I actually grew up here my entire life. I was low income my entire life. And so for me, I want to share a different perspective here. I understand that this is about parking and traffic, but I think it's a bigger picture. And the picture that I want to present is that I've heard people say, how does this impact our students? Our communities. And so it was my dream to educate myself and get the opportunity to get myself out of the low income bracket. And I was able to do that through education, through college, and through growing a business in real estate, but also through education. Right now, I run a nonprofit called Peninsula Bridge. We have over 300 Redwood City students that are directly impacted by our partnership with Synapse. They allow us to do programming there. They allow us to educate the families in Redwood City on how to give access to, to students so that they can have a higher education. My wife would say actually that we probably live in the busiest street on Hurlingham because it's half industrial, half residential. And so the traffic there is up and down. But, you know, my son is 2 years old and he's going to grow up in this community just like I did. And my goal is that he has access to excellent education, excellent resources, the ability to go to a place like Sports House and develop his extracurriculars and his passions. I do agree with some of the things that some of my neighbors have said about infrastructure. I do think that that is a very important part of the conversation, but I think that this plan will allow for some infrastructure to be built. And so I wanted to share my opinion because I wanted to share a little bit about how Synapse is impacting just their own students, but also other students from the Redwood City community.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Next speaker.
Next, we have Pooja, followed by Lorraine Ramirez.
Hola, soy Pooja Mittal. Estoy una padre de la comunidad de Synapse. Yo tengo 3 niñas. Una está en. Oh, sorry. I can translate it. I'm going to be fast, so I'll do that. I'll do the translation. Tengo 3 niñas. Una es en colegio, la otra en high school y la tercera en 4. Y para mí está muy importante que yo digo gracias para invitar a nosotros aquí para hablar con ustedes. Y es muy importante a nosotros que estamos un parte de la comunidad y que tenemos la oportunidad de hablar y decidir qué podemos hacer juntos para mover todo, a mejorar todo para nosotros. Oh, wow.
Did someone pull the fire alarm?
Hi, for those of you that are tuning online, we are calling off the meeting. So just letting you guys know that the alarm is still going. Thank you for tuning in.